welcome to class. Today we're going to stretch on the Wunda Chair. Some of these are actual stretches, some of these things I've made up, so take what serves you today. This is all about being a little gooey and getting a stretch in. Let's begin with the pigeon stretch. So starting with my right foot, I'm going to bring it to the seat and then bring my shin so that it's parallel to the pedal side edge of the seat. Now, if you can't get your shin parallel, totally valid. You can bring the heel closer in towards you. But what's nice about this uplifted position is that you can find a bit of a deeper stretch and you get a little bit more range of motion and ability to kind of find the spot that you're looking to free up a little bit. What I love about the chair and a lot of Pilates apparatus is all of the lines. It's very linear. A lot of things are boxes or rectangles or squares. So you can literally use your apparatus to help square yourself off and get that feedback. If you'd like to deepen this further, bring your hands to the pedal. I have mine on one middle, and then you can take it down. Dropping the head, let it feel good. Slowly come up, bring your hands to the chair, and then press yourself back so that you can bring your foot directly down to the seat. Let's go for a lunge here and make sure that your chair won't slip around. So thinking about our lunge, less about diagonal spine, like kind of setting up for a race, and more about the pelvis just lifting up and down, sliding the pelvis down. Square off the hips. If you'd like, you can hold on to the chair. You can also walk your foot out a little more and come into more of like a yogi runner's lunge style to get more into that inner thigh. You can rock, you can drop the head. Just find what works for you. And then from here, we're going to bring that foot back center, square yourself off, and then straighten the leg. Hamstring stretch. So once again, using the corners of the chair, square your hips, and you can bring your fingertips to the chair, or if you have your arm handles, you can hold on to them as well. And we're aiming for a flat back. We don't want to round. So a little bit of a different feeling. Pull the thigh bone back, lengthen your spine. This is harder, but it'll be good for your hamstring and mine. You can play with flexing the foot, pointing the foot. You get very different sensations and stretches. And now from here, come up to stand. We're going to turn to face the side. So you can point, you can flex the foot. Thinking more about squaring the hip. Take your outside hand, bring it up to the ceiling, and then side bend over your leg. Keep a little engagement of that pelvis forward and check in with those ribs. It's easy to kind of turn more to the leg. Really get sandwiched between those two panes of glass. Come all the way back up, turn to face your chair. If you need to take your hands on to remove your foot, let's go to the other side. So starting with that pigeon stretch, you can also deepen this by walking that back leg out less or more. So you've got a lot of different options. Sometimes I like to be a little more lifted and not fold over in my pigeon. You get a little bit of a different stretch. It's good to do a little bit of everything. You can do a little twist. Don't forget to breathe. Breathing can help deepen your stretches. And now let's bring the hands to the pedal. Trying to keep everything square, shoulders square, hips square. You want to hold your stretches for approximately 30 seconds. If you hear creaking, those are my springs. Slowly come all the way up. Let's find that lunge position. So press yourself back, bring the center of the foot to the chair. Once again, make sure your chair doesn't slip around, and then find your lunge. You can play with this position. You can hold on to the chair if you'd like. You can walk the foot out, take a bit of a wider stance. This feels really good to me today, so I'm gonna rock this for a little bit. Literally rocking back and forth. Try not to shrug the shoulders. We still want to have nice form, even when we stretch the Pilates way. Press back. I almost forgot our hamstring stretch. So find that long leg. We'll start with the flex foot, flat back. If you need to put your hands on your hips, you can also do that. You can also bend the standing leg a little bit. You can draw your chest closer in. Options. You got options. All right, from here, let's take it out to the side. I'm gonna turn away from you, my apologies. Finding that square position. That's a little better, there we go. I love having a camera to get feedback on my form. Outside arm comes up, tip over, find your side bend. If you feel like you're hyperextending in your knee, kind of like you're pressing back into the knee joint, you can take a little soft bend of the leg. Totally valid. We never want to just sink into our joints. Maybe try pointing the toes. Press down into the floor, really breathe into that side body. And then come all the way up to tall. Come back through center, bring your foot off, and shake it out. We're gonna play with a quad stretch in our swan position. So set up like you would for swan, your long plank-esque position. Press the pedal all the way down. I have the spring still on one middle. This is not about breaking a sweat or anything. It's about stretching, so make your springs easy. Let the springs help you. From here, take one leg, bend it in towards you, and then grab onto your foot, your ankle, and find a little quad stretch here. Press the floor away, and then draw your abs up, pelvis down, just like you would for your swan back. When you bring your pelvis more forward, you'll get a little extra extension of the hip. So you get a little bit of extra stretch in the front of the leg as a whole. Now slowly release your leg, take it long behind you, and then bend and switch. Breathing easy. Release the leg. Take one hand, press yourself back as you slowly close your spring, and let's stretch the upper body. Bring your hands just to the seat. You'll walk your feet back. You can take a generous spread of the legs and just fold over. Let the chest hang through the shoulders. Breathe into that space. From here, bend your right leg and lift up, switch. And switch. And switch. 2 more times. Last time. Come through center, roll all the way up, Now from here, walk a little closer to your chair. For a tricep stretch, you're gonna take your elbows down to your chair. Walk yourself back so that you can kind of slide into a flat back here. Hands can be interlaced, folded, fist bumping. Just find a comfortable position. And then from here, send your chest through. Same thing here, bend your right knee and lift up and switch. And switch. I really like this one. Let's go 3 more. Feels really good today. 2, a lot of these feel good today. Last time, come back through center, reach your arms long, slowly roll all the way up to tall. We can take, of course, our mermaid side bend. So sitting however is comfortable. I'm just gonna stretch the leg long. 3 times up and over. As we come to the bottom of our mermaid, twist a little towards your pedal. Come back to your side bend. Open up to the ceiling. Come back through center. All the way up, close your spring, counter stretch. 2 more times like that. So we get a little bit of rotation. Squaring the shoulders, pull that hip back. Spiral up to the ceiling. Get a little extra reach. Come back through center. All the way back up. Side bendaroo. That's what every Pilates teacher calls a counter stretch, a side bendaroo. Final time. Oh, stretch your arm. How straight can that arm go? Can you get a little stretch in your chest as you twist towards your pedal? Spiral to the ceiling. Come back through center, all the way back up. Final counter stretch to the other side. No funky transition. Keeping it nice and easy, nice and breathy. Square your hips. Feel a lot of lift as the arm comes up. You can get reach and length through the arm without taking the shoulder with you. Feel the opposition of the shoulder blade plugged down and the fingertips reach to the ceiling. Tip up and over. Let it feel good. Twist towards your pedal. This is my less open side. Spiral to the ceiling. Come back through center. Come all the way up, counter stretch. Especially as we twist, try to find this from the rib cage and not from the gaze. So lead with the twist of the rib cage, and then the gaze just follows wherever the ribs go, and then spiral to the ceiling. Come back through center, slowly come up. Transitions are also exercises and stretches. Don't just throw away the transition here. Keep that lift in the waist. Side bendaroo. Final time, twist. Oh, love twisting, it feels so good. Spiral to the ceiling. It's my favorite thing to do. And slowly come all the way up. Final counter stretch. Let's come back to stand. I like to do some back bending on this chair. It feels good to me. This is not going to be for everyone, so please proceed with caution, or if you look at it and you go, not for me, don't attempt. Lie down on my chair, and I'm just going to find a spot, and I can use the pedal as a bit of a headrest here. Just a place to kind of lay back, take some generous arm circles. Once again, this is not a thing in Pilates. This is just a thing that I do as I flop around on my chair. But it feels really nice. Then maybe I'll hang out here, find that back bend a little bit more. From here, I bring one hand behind my head, one hand to the chair, press myself up to seated. Take a moment, shake it out. Back bends can be a little disorienting. So it's good to take a pause before you get up and start moving around again. So now I have no springs on my pedal. We're gonna go for that back bend again. So finding what works for me, what works for you. I'm gonna go a little further back, kind of push it a little bit. Pressing my hips forward, chest through, and I just kind of flop around. Sometimes I'll add a little mat here or a little extra support so that my bones don't crunch up against the edge of the chair. I feel fine right now. You can put something under your tail. Slowly coming all the way up to tall. Have a sit, shake it out. We have to do our pull-up tendon stretch running variation. It's a great stretch for the back of the legs. So let's do it. I have no springs on my pedal right now because we don't need them. So bringing your hands anywhere to the back of the chair, I just want you to be able to keep your shoulders open. We don't want to sink or shrug them towards the ears. Bring your feet onto your pedal. You can find a round back here and let the head hang heavy, or you can find a flat back. I'll demo both. With nice lifted heels, let one heel drop and then lift up and switch. And up and switch, and up and switch. Just letting it feel good. You can get a lot of nice stretch through the calves here. You've got 2 more. Last time. Lift both heels up and hold. Tendon stretch on the reformer. Lower both heels under. And lift up. I'm gonna separate my feet a little more. And lower. Now that feels better. And lift up. Play around. And lift. One more time. Lift the heels up. Take one foot off. Bring your other foot off to meet. Let's close with a little undulating motion. I like to do this when I'm done with my chair workout. It reminds me of spread eagle. It reminds me of kind of a yogic vinyasa style flow. So let's give it a shot. You're gonna bring your hands to your chair and walk your feet back a lot. You're gonna need some space. Make sure that your chair is secure. Find a flat back. You can even press back, kind of down dog style. Now from here, lift your heels up, roll through your spine, and then open your shoulders. Find a little upward facing dog swan. And then dive the head back, round the spine, and press it down. Maybe you take a little beat in between. Lift up, roll through. Lift the chest. Maybe the hands come back a little bit. Look to one side. Look to another side. Come back through center, roll back through. Final time here. Big exhale as you roll through. Open. Looking around. Pressing the chair away. Get a nice big open stretch and then rolling back the way you came. Stretch. Take one step forward, bring your other foot to meet it, hands come off. I hope you enjoyed this session and see you next time. Stay awesome. Bye.